So the final installment of HBO's Witness series, Rio, came out a few nights ago, and I really enjoyed it. I actually think I might have liked Rio the best out of all four, next to Juarez and, well, the other two. But I'm glad it was Eros Hoagland again, because he seems to be a bit more of a compelling character. Um, he seems really sort of pessimistic or brutally honest, if you want to call it that, and really road weary. I mean, the guy seems like he's been through the ringer, and he's not that old, right? But which I'm sure he would love to hear. But uh, I mean, he definitely takes some great photos and puts himself in tricky situations, right? More than tricky, I should say. I mean, in the middle of gunfire, essentially. But Rio was once again really well done. It was beautifully shot, and I thought it was edited well as well. Um, and this one was particularly good because, uh, well, to me, it was really interesting because I've seen a lot of documentaries. Of course, we've all seen, or a lot of us seen City of God, but there's been a fair amount of documentaries out there about the favelas in Rio and the way in which the local gangs or drug traffickers control these neighborhoods high up in the hills, which are not accessible by the military or by the police. And so it's a fascinating documentary to me to just dive more into that. And also, there's been some articles I've read as well. One of them in particular, Gangland, which came out in 2009, written by John Lee Anderson from The New Yorker, is particularly good if you can get a copy of it. Uh, so the interesting twist to what's going on now in Rio is, which if you've watched the documentary you know and may have heard about, is that the military, the government is quote unquote pacifying neighborhoods, and their goal is to pacify or try to get under control all of the favelas before the 2014 World Cup and 2016 Olympics. Uh, so they're going methodically, favela by favela by favela, and with guns and but with force, and trying to scatter these people to other areas and gain control of the favelas. But what appears to be happening is, well, you've watched the documentary, is many people are being killed, and there's a lot of more than hints, not yet proof, but definitive proof that the police are doing a lot of the killing, and it's not the drug traffickers. And it's just crazy to me that a city, a huge city like Rio, is intentionally and out in the open going from neighborhood to neighborhood trying to stop or diminish the drug trafficking trade or the hold the gangs have on these areas, just so that they can have a more hospitable environment for the World Cup and the Olympics. I mean, it's not shocking, but yet it's kind of amazing, right? How they're going about this. And that scene when Hoagland went out there and met some of the drug dealers, um, out by that tree in the middle of the night, and the guy with the gun with the ski mask, he was saying, or the guys were saying, "Hey, film us paying bribes to the military," and that was just the idea that the drug traffickers are essentially having to pay money, uh, bribe money to the military police. But it's just crazy. And then the fact that the guys were saying, a lot of the drug traffickers are saying the drugs actually mostly go to the upper class. They do not go to the people that live in the favelas. So I highly recommend watching Rio if you haven't seen it. If you've seen it already, I'd be interested to know what you thought of it. I think it was a pretty powerful documentary, and if you knew nothing about Rio, the favelas, the gangs, the drug trafficking, the pacifying, then this will really open your eyes, and it should. I mean, it should hopefully send you on a bit of a tour through some of the other documentaries and pieces written about the area and what's going on. Because, man, as far as I understand it, there's not any other place in the world where gangs literally control the areas as well or as effectively as these drug traffickers do in the favelas because of geographically how they're situated. Anyway, it's really really something to see.